Well, indeed, Paris is always a good idea for sure.
Yes.
Welcome to Tuesday Travel Chat. I'm one of your hosts, Julia. We've also got here Bob Cook from Go Travel and our special guest, Tina Klump, one of our very own travel specialists who just returned from Paris. And she's going to talk about
Yes.
everything she experienced. She was invited by Delta Airlines as a specialist to go see firsthand that experience on Delta and on Air France, their joint venture partner, that full experience heading to Paris, what it's like to travel in France right now. And she's going to take us through all the details. First, Bob, say a few words for us.
Bonjour, mes amis. Bienvenue à Go Travel. I like little stupid facts, as you may know from the past. So I'm going to throw a few out before we turn it over to Tina. I'm going to give 4 facts right now. First, the Eiffel Tower, when it was built, was only supposed to stand for 20 years. It was supposed to be torn down. It was built for the 1889 World's Fair. Paris has 1 stop sign. That's it, 1 stop sign. Paris also has 2 times as many statues of liberty that New York has. Paris has 3 replicas of the Statue of Liberty in Paris. And the most famous one is on the Ile des Cygnes, which is the Isle of Swans, which is right very close to the Eiffel Tower. So those are some of the facts for now. I'm going to come back with a few more as we talk. So let's start, Tina.
Well, hello, everybody, and thanks so much for having me here today. I can't wait to share with everybody my experience in Paris. It was truly amazing, and it's happening. People are traveling, and one of the reasons I accepted to go on this trip, well, I was asked. I never say no, but was to actually experience how people are traveling right now, and that they can travel right now internationally. And so my trip began, of course, in Orlando. When I headed out of the Orlando airport, I was greeted by our sales representative, and he took me around the airport a bit and shared with me how serious Delta Airlines is with their protocols and how they have maintained their cleanliness standards all throughout COVID. They never stopped cleaning the planes. When things started to get a little bit better, they amped it up. They continued on with making sure of the health and safety of all of their passengers. So that made me feel so good. And then, of course, they flew me in business class to Atlanta, and then across the water into Charles de Gaulle. So that was quite the experience. It was nice to actually have the space and relax and actually could sleep a little bit on the airplane before you start your day in Paris the next day. It is a very busy, active trip that I was on. So I was glad to get a few hours of sleep because I was not in bed until the next evening. Oh, it was about midnight when I went to bed their time. So that was our time, about 6 a.m. I was up for a long time, but you start to go on adrenaline once you land. So we were met at the airport by our destination management specialist. This is these photos you see right here of some of the folks that actually left out of Miami and met me over there. So the lady there in the kind of like the little pink jacket is the Delta representative. She sweet and was just hosting us, and it was so nice to have her.
Well, and Tina, I love that you mentioned the fact that you just hit the ground running and kept going. And whether you're not on a quick trip like you were on, but I mean, we make it a general rule. I mean, if you are going to go to Paris, if you're going to go to Europe, you want to get your jet lag taken care of from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And why waste an hour of Paris? You can never waste any of that time. You just got to force yourself, espresso, whatever you got to do. Even if you're going to be going for 10 days, don't waste a minute. Sleep in the nighttime. Take every minute and breathe that French air.
And two, I'll talk a little bit more about how travel agents can help you and guide you in that process, and how we can actually give you a plan when you land, okay? Because it is about maximizing the amount of time that you have on the ground in these wonderful, amazing cities. And Paris is just that. So before I get into that part, I wanted to talk a little bit about the protocols that everybody is really kind of concerned. And there's reason for concern, but once you understand them, and I think having now traveled quite a bit in the last 6 weeks, I've traveled quite a bit and doing that purposely so that I can understand the protocols, so that I can tell my clients about the protocols. Once I'm I'm confident in the protocol, it's much easier for me to sell it to my client. And so traveling to Paris, you want to make sure first that you have your passport and that it is valid for 6 months beyond an attendance stay. We can't say that enough. Passports are taking a lot longer to get renewed right now. And so you want to be up to date on that, and we can certainly update you. Your vaccination card, it makes life easier if you're vaccinated. You don't have to be, but if you are, you're bringing that. There's a health pass. There's a mandatory health pass that France is requiring right now, and I recommend that you do that about 30 days prior because of the lag time that it takes to get a response. And basically, that's just they're emailing you a QR code so that when you're entering the museums and the restaurants and the cafes and the malls and anywhere that you're going, a lot of time there's somebody standing there waiting for you to come in, and they want to scan your QR code. I've heard that sometimes the vaccination card works, but this is just an easier, more electronic way of handling that. And then there's a health declaration form. So all of these things can be done in a timely manner before you leave, and we can help guide that process for you. So back to the landing. We landed, and I'm meeting all these folks.
Well, first of all, Tina, I want to know, can you comment on the actual flight? Anything different, anything that, crossing the pond? I know a lot of people have been flying domestically, but as far as that flight and that experience on business class with Delta Air France, any comments on that before we land?
It was, the service was outstanding. And you can see my meal. I eat salmon all the time. My husband is my salmon maker, and I am spoiled because he really knows how to cook it well. And I was pretty impressed with this. I ate it all. So that says something for me, because if I don't, I might just take a couple of bites. The salad was fresh. The space that I was in, I did have a video on that too, but I kind of went and did a pano of that area. They asked me if I wanted to be served breakfast, and I said no, just let me sleep. But I wouldn't mind a cup of coffee before I got off of the plane. And so they said, sure thing. I'll get, just let me know when you wake up. And they brought me a hot cup of coffee. And I will say the coffee and the champagne on that plane was exceptional. So.
But it's French. What do you expect?
Yeah,
it was
those
French.
are the two most important.
It ain't Ripple.
You're going to keep hearing that about the wine and the champagne all throughout this tour.
Okay,
was the plane full? How
was
many
that?
people was the plane full?
Not quite.
No,
not quite. Yeah, and I didn't walk to the back, so I don't think first class was quite full either. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of seats open.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you land. Tell us about that.
So I land, and it's not a very long walk to get to the baggage claim area, claim my luggage. It's early in the morning. It was fairly easy. I must have been looking, at the signs and slowed down a little bit to look, because I was kind of on my own at that point. And a nice gentleman come up to me, and he says, well, where are you headed? And I showed him my boarding pass, and he says, well, just down that escalator, which is right where I was headed. But he kind of confirmed that for me. So it was nice to know that, there is somebody there kind of, just recognizing that, maybe I had a question. So I went down, and when I went down the escalator there, right there are the baggage claim. The carousels are there, and my luggage came out. And about a half an hour later, the rest of the group showed up down there, and then we exited the airport where our destination management company was there waiting for us, and whisked us off to the Kimpton St. Honore property. That's the view right there from my room. There'll be some more pictures, I think, of that. Yep, that's actually my room where I stayed, and very, very pleasant hotel. It's walking distance of the Opera House, walking distance of the Louvre, about 20 minutes to the Louvre. The hotel is got a kind of an American theme. The restaurant that we ate in for dinner this evening is all an American menu, which I thought was quite interesting to see that. You know, for the Parisians that would be good, but I want Parisian food. So, right. Anyways, we enjoyed a lovely meal there, so after our arrival there, we went on to lunch at the Park Hyatt right here. Okay. Well, it's right here in my face. So we ventured over to the Park mm-hmm. Hyatt, and we ate at Cafe Jean.
And this looks terrible. This looks absolutely horrible. How would you put up with this terrible food here, Tina?
They actually had my name plate at my seat. So yes, this meal was exquisite, and it's just the beginning.
Spectacular.
They did give us a tour of the hotel, and this is the Opera House, so
this is the Opera House. Okay,
yeah,
you got it.
Yeah.
So you went on a tour of the hotel though first.
Yeah, so we could see the rooms mm-hmm. and be able to advise our clients if that would be maybe they wanted an upgraded hotel from various different places that you have to choose from when you're in Paris. There's so many. So
the Vendôme area is a gorgeous area.
Yes.
It's a beautiful location.
Yes. So then we walked onto the Opera House, the Opera Garnier, and so there's another picture I have that shows where the emperor would sit. And so what they're telling us about as we're touring is that the Opera House is a place to be seen. And so that's, if you've ever watched any TV programs that are based on the era when it was a place to be seen, it probably still is. It still is a place to be seen. So you're always dressed in your, in your finest, and it was quite an experience to get to see this building. When we walked into the building, in the ceiling, they had the years that it was actually built. Who was it? The Charles Garnier was the
architect.
The architect, and it was built from 1861 to 1875. So those numbers are actually, that's inside of the actual auditorium. But before we got into there in the ceiling, it actually has the numbers. And I thought that was so interesting. Now, this was redone, the ceiling in the Opera House was redone, and nobody seems to like it. They think it's kind of ugly, the Parisians think. So now it's a thing to actually come and see this art because people don't think it's very pretty. It doesn't really go with the rest of the way, so it's a little bit more modern and a talking piece, I think.
And this is the site of one of the most famous books about opera, The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if they used to offer a night tour that you actually went into the Phantom's box where he was supposed to sit and watch the opera.
Yeah.
You only do that at night, though.
Yeah. Well, right now they told us that it's mostly used for the ballet. So they do have ballet and every once in a while opera, but it's mostly the ballet. They were actually there preparing for the evening show.
Nice.
Amazing.
Someone just rented that out for over $3 million for a wedding. I saw that on YouTube about a month ago.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah. So after we that picture right there was taken after we walked through the rest of the opera house, but you can actually see the Louvre at the end of the street. I don't know if I didn't know that the opera house was built for the emperor because he spent all his time down at that end, I guess, of the street. I don't know. They mentioned that there were no trees on this road because people would hide in the trees to harm him.
Try to assassinate him.
Yeah. So no trees. And I just thought it was cool that you could, like, it's like a beeline straight to the Louvre. So our hotel, if you go back to that picture, you can kind of see that first right is where the Hotel Honoré is. So if you turn right, immediately right on the first street there, our hotel is just down the road. So nice and close to everything.
Yeah, what a great location. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it seems to be pretty busy. I mean, there's a lot of people down there. It was pretty active. I felt like people were back, getting back to their normal routines.
Mask or no mask out in public?
Not outside, but when you went inside, I would say 50-50, maybe 40-60. And more people weren't wearing them than were. We were, because we're following the protocol given to us. Yes. So then we went on to the retro tour, which is by motorbike, which was so cool to actually, experience just the ride itself, to ride around and get to view Paris in that way. It was the perfect afternoon. It was cloudy. It wasn't rainy. So, we enjoyed the weather and our French escorts in this fashion. So I highly recommend this tour. They'll pick you up wherever you want to be picked up, and they will drop you off wherever you want to be dropped off. So it worked out well. We got to ride up through the Moulin Rouge area, and that would be a place I would have asked, hey, could you drop me off here? Because that just sounds interesting to me. I want to go and check that out. So I have a list of places now that I need to get back to when I go to Paris again.
Tina, did they give you, what is the typical cost of that? Because I noticed it's very one-on-one. So I don't know the cost, but I certainly can post it later and let you know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. And we were on the bikes for about maybe 45 minutes or so. And the fellas were all so friendly and all kind of giving you like the lay of the land as you're riding. You could talk to them while you're riding. And so it was easy. It was great.
Yeah, typical French drivers. And then we're going over this way and then over there.
Yeah.
That's a French cab driver.
Yeah. And really now, again, I can't stress how much now is such a great time to go because it's not very crowded. It looks like there's a lot of people on the streets, but that's not crowded for
nothing.
Paris. It's nothing. So we are, we're lucky to be able to be over there right now. Like, book your trip to go next week because or give me 2 weeks to plan it. I like a little bit of time.
Yeah,
this girl likes a little bit of time when she's planning her clients' trips so that we can get it right.
But
so
those
after
motorbikes look so cool. You're getting fresh air. You're not stuck inside a bus where you don't really get to feel the authenticity of the city. You get to just really be out there and seeing everything and kind of like living Paris.
And
this street level.
And this comes from the destination management company that we used for this particular trip. They planned all of this. And these are the companies that we use as travel agents to share with our clients so that we know that things are taken care of for you in the right manner. Yeah. So
and it's good too. Now you have that personal relationship with those on the ground suppliers that you can call up.
I can email Paola, and she'll be like, "Oh, Tina," and she'd be glad to hear from me.
I just want to say one thing. You brought this up with Go Travel. We pride ourselves on giving experiences, not just vacations. You know, we want you to go and experience what people don't expect. We don't like to put you on a large bus that you're sitting 20 feet above the street. Yeah. This motorbike is perfect. You're right street level. You're looking over in the cars and at other people on bikes and motorcycles. So this is one of the things that I think you guys, I know, really do very well.
Yes.
With the experiential travel.
We do try.
Yes, you do. We try. You don't try, you do it. That's the difference.
Yes. So then after that, we had gone back to the hotel and got cleaned up for dinner, and we had dinner that evening. And I already told you a little bit about our meal at the Saint Honoré. It's a Kipton hotel, and I can't say enough about the host and the way that we were treated, and how, I mean, everybody was so good to us and really took good care of every detail. Mm-hmm. So after dinner, we were off to bed so we could do it all over the next morning.
So the next morning you wake up and here we are, day 2.
Yeah, they served us a lovely little breakfast, and it was off the menu, whatever you wanted to choose. And we had our COVID test that morning because we were coming back on Thursday. And so they actually had, because we're a small group, we're about 8 people that needed to be tested to go home. And so we were going to go to a pharmacy and just have it done there, but they had changed it and brought in somebody, a practitioner of some sort, to come and administer the test to us. So that was extremely convenient.
Tina, I see something in the background that seems to be piercing the sky. Can you tell us what that little object is?
Oh, that's the top of the hotel, the hotel that we stayed at the Kipton Honoré.
No, off in the distance.
The Eiffel Tower.
Thank you. I've been waiting for you to say it.
Oh, it's the beautiful Eiffel Tower. We had a cloudy afternoon, so the last day, I think I have a picture in there. I don't know if Julia got that one, but it was blue skies and just gorgeous. So, it was amazing. The rooftop on this hotel, and it seems to be a thing in a lot of these big cities where they have the rooftop bar, and the roof, it's all done with foliage and walkways. It's really beautiful. Yeah. I have many more pictures of that rooftop. There's a few. Yes. So I was just taking pictures at everything that I saw, but quite nice.
Then you moved on to this Hotel de Crillon.
Yes. And this hotel, it was raining that morning, so we didn't take the Seine River cruise, and we got to. And this was a highlight, really, that we got to go and tour this hotel. It's magnificent. 5-star. When they refurbished it, I would say millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
So this, we didn't get a picture of the outside of the hotel, but it's sister. There's 2 twin buildings, And so the Hotel de Crillon, and then the Hotel de la Marine. So we got to see both.
What are we looking at right here, Tina?
It's just one of the artists, the tapestry hanging on the wall. I just thought it was so detailed that it was just breathtaking. It's beautiful. And
it's a Gobelin tapestry.
Yes.
It's probably about 400 to 500 years old.
It's beautiful.
300 at least.
Yeah. And the entire walk, everywhere you went, this is one of the suites. And I can't say enough about the artwork and the chandeliers and the closets, the bathrooms, the views out every one of. They're breathtaking. I believe it starts at $4,000 a night to stay at this hotel. Not for this particular suite. This one's much more, but it is exquisite.
I just love the detail. I feel like we're in an episode of The Crown or something with Marie Antoinette. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. It was a real treat to get to go and see that. The Hotel de la Marine, we got to tour, and I think what stands out to me is this area where they have these. They were kind of live mirrors of people and what it would look like for them to be dancing in that day, and how they would have their parties and do their dancing. And so it was quite interesting to get to it almost made you feel like you were a part of that. So they had several of those mirrors all throughout. And I got caught up standing there watching them and just kind of, in the moment of thinking of that time frame and to be a part of something like that. And the picture doesn't really do it justice, because that room is amazing. I mean, the chandeliers go all the way down this huge area. So the tour guide and the group left me. I was like, oh, where'd everybody go? So I had to go catch up after watching.
But I love this video that you took, seeing those people dancing. That is really neat. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. And there were several of them. So it was really cool to just sit and kind of daydream.
Sure.
Yeah. Where did we head off after that? We had lunch at Fouquet's.
Okay.
Down on the Champs-Élysées. We went down and had a beautiful meal there. And the restaurant that we ate in has like nameplates at each table where famous people would have come and had like a reserved table. So quite interesting. There's Fouquet's.
Here we
and
go.
The beautiful meal that they served us there.
Okay, right on near the Champs-Élysées.
Yep.
The famous walkway that you have to go, Arc de Triomphe on the one end, and then the Eiffel Tower on the other end. It's always a must-see spot, and so this is neat. This is one option that you could experience.
Absolutely. One place that you can go in and just have a nice lunch. And if you're staying in this hotel that's directly above, the views are amazing. The Dior is right next door, and then the Arc de Triomphe is just down the street. So you'll be seeing that here momentarily. Well, maybe in the evening. We went to the Arc de Triomphe in the evening. So I don't know which video you have, but I do have a really cool video of the Arc de Triomphe.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. Tell us what was happening to the Arc de Triomphe when you took this video as I pull it up.
Yeah. Well, it was wrapped, and the architect that wrapped it, he was, I wish I could think of his name, but he was finishing his father's work. So his father passed away, and it was his heart's dream to wrap, and he actually wrapped another bridge in Paris, and so now he wanted to wrap the Arc de Triomphe. So you'll see beautiful pictures of it being, and it was just recently completed. I think it was September last year when they completed it, but it seems that it needed to have a little bit more work done.
Well, I'm going to read what you wrote on your Facebook post, okay. Tina.
Yeah.
So you said that this is wrapping of the Arc de Triomphe in 2021, based on a concept Christo and his wife, Jean-Claude, had
yes.
Developed in 1962. Arc de Triomphe Wrapped was to become the artist's final large-scale project. He died in May 2020 before seeing the realization. So here we're going to pull this up so that everybody can see it here in a second. So this is really wild. I never knew. I hadn't heard about this. This is pretty neat.
No, and I had people posting saying, "Wow, I never knew that." And so it's. I think once it's finished and those blue areas aren't standing out, that it could look very beautiful. But right now it's because it's still under construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many cool things. Maybe they can project onto it, or I mean, I'm curious what the finished project will look. But this is neat that you got to be there during this.
And this was after our meal. We had the Paris Authentic transfer us from our dinner to our hotel. And as we were driving along, I think I have a video of that too. I might be getting a little bit ahead of our order of photos that you have there.
The next I have is cooking. So you just
yes. So we're getting a little head of the game with that. So the cooking class.
Is this you're still on day 2, or are we in day 3 now?
We're on day 2. Yeah,
we're still on day 2. This is wild.
Yeah, okay. No, we only had 2 days. So we did all of this in 2 days. Yeah. So this was at the Lafayette, across the street from the Mall of Lafayette. And so we went upstairs through a beautiful cafe, and we got to make pastry. So what a fun experience that was. Then we proceeded to eat these beautiful pastries that were full with the cream, and they actually let us, we didn't get to use the mixer and all of that. It was, I think, kind of a class that might have been a little bit shortened. I would be looking for something a little bit more hands-on, but it was fun to get the experience and wear the hats.
Of course. Yeah.
They're called toques.
Yes.
Toques. Toque.
Toque. Yes. So,
and Tina, sorry, just a reminder to everyone out there, if you're thinking of traveling to Paris, just let us know the questions in the comments, because Tina was just there. She can tell you anything. Whether you're watching this on replay or you're watching it on live, we'll be monitoring. Yeah. Let her answer those questions for you, because she was on the ground. And there's only so much that we could get in this, Tuesday chat. So let her know. Go ahead, Tina. And again, also, if you like cooking, this is a great thing to do.
Yes. So it would be walking distance from our hotel too. So everything we did just about was, it was so close. Everything was easily gotten to. So that makes it nice when you only have a few days. So this photo I took just to show how many people are wandering about in Paris. It's busy, but
it looks like Tokyo.
Again, as we mentioned, this isn't really that busy. So now's the time to go.
Tina, did you get into any, like Printemps, I see is like a department store. Did you get into there, or Galerie Lafayette?
Yeah, right after that cooking, we had about 30 minutes to shop. Okay. That wasn't enough time for me. I went into the mall, which happened to be like, I think there was 8 stories, and the Lafayette Mall. And so I I should have, what I should have done, and I'll have to go back and do, is gone up to the top. They had a outside top on the rooftop, and you could come out and see the views. So I should have gone up there rather. I went up about 3 decks or three floors, and I looked around a little bit and felt like, I don't have time for this. I'm a shopper, so
it's like Macy's.
I could do a whole day of shopping there. So and a half an hour wasn't enough time. So this here, after we shopped, we went back to the hotel. I walked back on my own because this was our little half an hour of free time, and it was only like a 10-minute walk. I put it on my maps. I pulled up Google Maps and I put in the address just to make sure, because I was walking alone. I never felt scared or anything like that. I just put it in Google Maps and walked back to the hotel. And I was there in no time at all. So we went back and refreshed a little bit, and then they picked us up and transferred us to
is it the
Le Royal
Monceau?
The Royal Monceau. Yes. But before we had this meal, we went to the Shangri-La. And the Shangri-La, I thought I had some photos of the Shangri-La in there.
We might.
That very last video I think I sent to you was them welcoming us into one of the suites where we had champagne and hors d'oeuvres while we looked at the Eiffel Tower. And literally, when you come into this particular suite at the Shangri-La Hotel, you're so close to the Eiffel Tower, you feel like you could touch it. So that was a surprise and a highlight for the group. I don't know, you don't always know when they're going to get to fit something in like that for you. And so that was quite nice. And then after we saw that,
is this it?
No, that is the Le Royal Hotel where we had dinner.
Okay, well, we'll take a look while we're here.
Yeah. Yes. So after we saw the photos before this one of the meal that I had at this hotel, and quite a cool little pad they have here. It's kind of like a mid-century decoration. It's really, really, really neat.
It's
very
funny.
cheap.
A lot of those rooms that have the angled ceilings, which are the most popular now, that's what the servants used to say when the people traveled. They were the garbage rooms.
Yeah.
And now they're the ones people want.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could look out the window, and that at that moment, the Eiffel Tower was sparkling. And because it only sparkles, I guess, on the hour for a few minutes. It's not always lit up with all of the pretty sparkles. So, oh yes, and there's the video of the champagne. Yes, we can't get enough of that. That was served, whether it be white wine or champagne, served with every meal that we had, lunch and dinner. And it just goes so well. And you never walk away from your meal feeling heavy. Yeah. Everything is so proportioned well. That's one of the things I love about traveling in Europe is just that, you're walking a lot, you're getting exercise, and you're eating well.
Yeah. Petit morceaux, they call them, little bits.
Yeah. It's quite nice. So let's see, that was just about the end of our tour.
We're back at the Le Royal Monceau. I know that we have a few photos, so we jumped around a little bit, but we're back for your dinner here.
Yes, black halibut. This was a family style, so we were, there was more than enough, but we would pass the dishes around. This was our group, and just a really magnificent meal. And then this is the inside of that hotel. It was breathtaking.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has a cool vibe to it.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And then I remember you said that one of the major highlights was right after that dinner.
Oh, Yeah, that was Paris Authentic when we got into the classic Volkswagens. I had no idea that this was coming. I was actually outside taking pictures of the car, and you might have one where you have just kind of like the lineup of the car. And I was taking pictures of them because I walked out and I thought they looked so cool. And they said, "Oh, we'll pick a car and get in." I was like, "Really?"
So, and who are these two gentlemen here? Is it your driver and a guide?
This was just one of the other one of my tour mates. He was from Miami. So nice guy. There's the picture in the top right there, where I was literally I had no idea those cars were there for us.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I think I got into the first orange car there, and Roman was the driver, and he loved to sing his French music. And I said to him, I said, "Is it okay if I sit up a little bit and my head is sticking out the roof?" And he's like, sure, that's fine. I think I was the only one that actually was doing that. I don't know why, but
these are some of the pictures you were able to take during that ride?
Yes. And the first picture there is where the emperor's remains. That's his.
It's Les Invalides.
Yes.
Where Napoleon is buried.
Yes. Where and of course the beautiful Eiffel Tower and the bridge, one of the beautiful bridges. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a cool picture. Yeah. It was so much fun.
That car. What a lovely surprise. I'm going to pull up that video though. In the meantime, just let us know any other comments while I look for that video.
Well, I think the biggest thing that people need to know is that travel is back, and Go Travel. We're ready to guide that process. We are here just to do that specifically. So it's important that our client be very active in that whole process. Staying in touch, reading the emails, because we do have to send a lot of emails and there's a lot of links attached to emails that we send that have information that it's really very important for you to stay engaged and be in the process with us. We definitely have the tools to make sure that you get there and you get home safely. Mm-hmm. We want you to go see and go do and go travel.
And in that sentiment, in the go see, go do, go travel, let's see a little bit of your driver here. And we don't have the sound on it, so you're going to have to just narrate for us, Tina.
Oh boy, well, I wish we had the sound because he's singing the whole time that I'm doing this video. And I Bob, do you know any songs in French?
Frère Jacques.
Yeah, no, he
The Marseillaise.
Yeah, that's probably the only one I know, and I do sing that one to my granddaughter.
Levian Rose, maybe.
Yeah. So he was so kind and just was telling us along the drive where we were going. Let's go see the Eiffel Tower, and the ride went on for about 45 minutes, and the next video I think I have actually shows you the Eiffel Tower, which is probably better since we don't have any music to go along with that one.
Let's find it.
But I couldn't stop taking videos the whole time that I was in that car because it was really an awesome ending to a really fun 48 hours on the ground.
Tina, did you get up into the Eiffel Tower at all?
No,
or you just
we did not. No, I think they really wanted to focus on areas that we went to. If we'd had more time, then certainly. And the Seine River was we were supposed to do a river cruise, but that was canceled due to the weather. Mm-hmm. So apparently we were on one of the boats that had no roof. So So this might be, the one as we were driving up to the Eiffel Tower. And so it's pretty spectacular to see it at night when it's right there in front of you. And just we were going to just drive around, and then we're making our way to a spot where we could take a photo of the whole group. So it's fun. It's a great place. It's a great place to visit. I didn't feel, a lot of people say that the French sometimes can be rude. Well, I didn't experience any of that. So I think that when you're in other cultures, you need to try to kind of blend a little bit more and maybe use their language as much as you can, even if it's just a bonjour and a merci beaucoup. Or I love it whenever you'd walk in, and it's always nice to hear them say bonjour madame, and it's like, it's just it's nice to reply in that way to them, or bonjour monsieur, and just try to use a little bit of their language. And I struggle with that myself, because I feel like I don't speak it well, so I don't want to, but you got to put forth a little bit of effort. And once you do,
no matter which country you are, wherever you are, people really appreciate, and it doesn't matter if you do it wrong. People appreciate that you're trying to.
It's a small gesture that you're respectful.
And usually they'll respond in English. How can I help you?
Yes.
Because we Americans do stand out.
Yeah.
So
it was a lovely trip. Thank you for sending me.
Oh no, this has been spectacular, and if you yourself are thinking of heading to Europe or anywhere in the world, but Paris especially, Tina was just there. If you're interested, reach out to your travel advisor at Go Travel, or if you don't have a travel advisor, just message us at gotravel.com and say, hey, maybe you want to work with Tina. Maybe Tina is your kind of vibe and you'd love to work with her, and she can plan a spectacular trip for you. If you like to cook, if you hate cooking, she will have some cool alternatives, because not only was this trip for her to experience firsthand some of the things that they can do there, but there was a lot of discussions, a lot of connections made on all kinds of things that can be done in Paris. And our partners over there, we have discussions with them. These are the things our clients like. Let's work until we can create just a beautiful tailor-made experience for you, for the type of trip that you've always dreamed of, not some cookie cutter trip that you can find anywhere, but something that just really hits all of your buttons. Hey, you want everything when you're going to Europe. You want to really enjoy everything. So just reach out to us if you're looking for some help planning. Bob, any other comments?
No, I just think it was beautiful. Some of the photography was absolutely gorgeous, Tina. I was very, very. Did you use a camera or your phone?
I used my iPhone, but I have the 12.
Yeah.
The,
well, they were very, very. The Eiffel Tower. I've not seen it look that good, and I've been to Paris over 30 times, and I've never seen it look so pretty.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm always taking photos when I'm traveling. So, yes. The more photos, the better. I want to keep those memories. Keep them alive.
Well, thank you so much, Tina, for just an amazing experience, and for sharing everything on Facebook as it was going. And then now today we were able to see even more and get a full explanation of all those little pieces. We're going to end on a gorgeous video of kind of a live show event that you could enjoy while you're in Paris, and reach out to Go Travel if you would like help with planning your next trip. See you next Tuesday for Tuesday Travel Chat. In the meantime, have a wonderful week.
Au revoir, mes amis.
Bye.
Bye.